Hello, I'm Mary Bonikowski. I am an art teacher. One of my favorite things to do is to visit art museums. I love going to the Montgomery Museum of Fine Arts and looking at all of their beautiful paintings and sculptures. Whenever I'm out of town, I always look for new art museums to explore. Since we're staying home during these unprecedented times, I thought that since we can't get out to an art museum, that I would bring an art museum to you. So I'm going to share with you some of my favorite works of art. Some of them you'll recognize, some of them may be new to you. So sit back and enjoy as I take you on a virtual art tour. This is the Mona Lisa. It was painted by Leonardo da Vinci. It is a portrait. A portrait is a work of art of a person. This painting is believed to have been commissioned by a wealthy merchant of his wife, but for some reason da Vinci never gave it to the merchant. He kept it with him until he died. Why? We don't know. That is part of the mystery surrounding the Mona Lisa. Look at those eyes that seem to be following you wherever you go. And look at that smile. Know that the Mona Lisa is one of the most famous works of art of all time. This is the famous water lily pond of artist Claude Monet. It is a landscape. A landscape is a work of art of places. Mountains, trees, oceans, the sky are all examples of what could be in a landscape. Monet created this beautiful landscape right in his backyard. He built the bridge over the pond and planted all of the plants. He would wake up early and set up his easel and paints right in his yard and paint all day. Do you see all of the cool colors? Have you ever painted what's in your backyard? Maybe you should try it. This is The Starry Night, painted by Vincent Van Gogh. Van Gogh was an impressionistic artist. He didn't want his art to look like a photograph, a perfect replica. No, he wanted to express himself with his art, and he used exaggerated brushstrokes and vivid colors to show how he felt inside. Do you see the swirling sky, the moon and the stars surrounded by halos of light? The next time you make a work of art, try not to create a replica. Try to make an impression of it and express yourself at the same time, just like Van Gogh did. This is a work of art by the artist Yayoi Kusama. This is an installation piece. That means it is a three-dimensional work of art that transforms a space. This is a room that the artist built with mirrors and lights. It creates an illusion when we walk into the room. The lights repeat and get smaller as they get closer to the middle point, creating an illusion of infinite space. That is why it is called an infinity room. Would you like to go into the room? I would. The Sleeping Gypsy by Henri Rousseau is another landscape painting. Henri Rousseau was a toll collector who taught himself how to paint. He had always wanted to travel to far-off lands but didn't have a lot of money, so he painted the places he wanted to travel to using books and his imagination. His style is simple with great attention to detail and the use of bright colors. Do you see the woman sleeping? Do you see the lion? Do you feel peaceful or are you scared? What do you think is going to happen next? This is a painting by Childe Hassam. The Avenue in the Rain was painted in 1917 of Fifth Avenue in New York City. It is in the permanent collection at the White House. It is an impressionistic work. The artist didn't want the work to be realistic. He wanted to give us an impression of what it was like on the street that day in the rain. Do you see the people with the umbrellas? Do you see all the flags? How does it make you feel? It makes me feel patriotic and proud to be an American. The artist Jacob Lawrence liked to tell stories with his art. Some of his stories were about his everyday life. Some of his stories tell epic tales in American history, like this one. This art tells about Harriet Tubman, the former slave who escaped to freedom in the North and became the most famous conductor on the Underground Railroad. Jacob Lawrence saw Harriet as a true hero and wanted to tell everyone about her. Do you see the strong hands of Harriet Tubman telling people to follow the North Star? Have you ever drawn a picture of a hero in your life? Wow, look at the lines and colors in this piece. This is an abstract work of art by Vasily Kandinsky. An abstract work of art has lines, colors, and shapes, but it doesn't represent anything specific. Kandinsky is considered the father of abstract art. He believed that art should show the artist's unique inner vision. His art reflected his unusual ability to hear color and see sound. Can you do that? Here is another abstract work of art by the artist Alma Thomas. When she was in her 70s, she created her signature style of large abstract paintings filled with patterns of bright colors. Before that, she was a middle school art teacher for 35 years. This piece is called The Eclipse. Look at the colors. She used warm colors, reds, oranges, and yellows on the outside, and closer to the middle, she used cool colors, blues, greens, and purples. Why do you think she called it the eclipse? This work of art by Georgia O'Keeffe is called Jimsonweed. It is a still life. A still life is a work of art of objects, of things. A bowl of fruit, a vase of flowers, a piece of pie, are examples of still lifes. Georgia O'Keeffe loved nature and liked to paint close-ups of flowers so that people could look carefully at their beauty. Former First Lady Laura Bush liked this painting so much that she had it on display in the White House while she lived there. Would you like a painting of a flower like this one at your house? I hope you enjoyed this virtual art tour of my favorite famous works of art. I talked about some of the categories that we put art into. I talked about portraits, still lifes, landscapes, and abstract works of art. Let's see if you can put some of my students' art in the correct category. So this piece has trees and bushes and a mountain in the background and the sky. What category do you think this goes into? That's right, it's a landscape. This work of art has lines and shapes, see those triangles, and lots of beautiful colors, but it doesn't have a subject. What art category do you think this piece should go into? That's right, it's an abstract work of art. This painting is made up of a vase with flowers. It's a group of things. What category do you think this goes into? That's right, it is a still life. This drawing is of a person. Which category does this work of art go into? That's right, it's a portrait. Great job, everyone. I hope you enjoyed looking at the art with me, and I hope the next time you're able to, you get out and you go to an art museum.